Hello, Bible readers. It's Wednesday, May 26th. We're reading from Ezekiel 29 to 32 and Revelation 20 and 21. In Ezekiel, we've got 7 oracles against Egypt, the 7th and last nation condemned since chapter 25. Egypt holds a special place on Ezekiel's hit list. If Babylon was intended to be God's instrument of judgment and destruction, then Egypt was a problem because they withstood, Egypt did, the power of Babylon and deserved then a special portion of judgment for complicating God's purposes. First, Ezekiel talks about the Pharaoh, then Egypt's army and allies, and how Pharaoh's going to be judged, army and allies are going to be judged. In chapter 31, Ezekiel says, you know what? Consider Assyria, Egypt, and then talks about how great Syria was, and yet so great has been their fall. That's going to be you, Egypt. And finally, the judgment is proclaimed, go down to Sheol, O Egypt, which is basically a prophet's way of saying go to hell. Sheol is kind of an Old Testament concept of separation from God, which is what hell means to Christians now. Okay, and then Revelation, we've got a couple of really big chapters. Chapter 20 is this concept of the millennium, 1,000-year reign of Christ. A very misunderstood and controversial concept. Lots of religious people have tried to make sense of the particular numbers. 1,000 years. So what exactly, when is that exactly? And and then, of course, exactly how many people are saved. And all these numbers, if we get caught up in those specifics, we're missing the vision, which is really what the revelation is meant to be about. Thought I'd read a paragraph here of this. Theologically, the millennium deserves much greater prominence than it's had. At the center of Christian faith, after all, is the confession that Jesus has risen from the dead. Resurrection transforms death into new life in a renewed world. It is not an escape into a world beyond. In the Christian creeds, we confess belief, not in the immortality of the soul, but in resurrection from the dead. This is an important piece because a lot of times, I'd say most of the time, when people talk to me about their beloved dead, we talk about our beloved dead as though their soul has been sucked up into the heavens, somewhere else, like an escapism. Revelation, the vision here, is about a new earth with resurrected bodies. The hope for the Messiah's reign on earth is consistent with that resurrection hope and is an attempt to encapsulate it in the images of apocalypticism. It evokes a time when the deceiving of people by the ideology of contemporary society and the distortion of minds and lives by the beast of mammon no longer takes place, and it bids us to alter our present practice accordingly. In other words, live into a new creation. So that's an interesting idea about the millennium, that it's about resurrection. It gets us away from, in the early church, there was this Gnostic idea that there was a soul and there was body. And it's all binary, one or the other. It's head or heart. And so as much as the Christian tradition was all about body and gut, the Greek thought was all about intellect and abstract and soul. And so that's been the conflict within Christian circles really ever since. Last thing I wanted to read was about chapter 21. If you ever hear Revelation read in worship, it's probably from 21. Revelation 21 marks the climax of the whole book. The contrast between heaven and earth disappears in a new creation. But the new creation is not merely something to look forward to. In Christ, there's already the possibility and the power of God's Spirit to bring about that new creation in individual lives, and I would also say in communities of faith. Though with the clear recognition of the struggle of the birth pangs of the whole creation must undergo before paradise can be revealed. So there's this sense of the birth pangs, like in Romans, that Paul talks about. But this vision of a new Jerusalem, a new heaven, a new earth, new creation, I think is brought, spoken of by Paul, but we really get a better, clearer sense of it in Revelation. I am one with my God. My God is with us, all of us, at all times and in all places.